All right, ladies, good Monday morning to you. Hello. I'm your host today for our Member Monday Spotlight, and we have our resident expert with us today, Lori Osborne with bizbolster.com. As you can imagine from her website, a title, we're going to be talking all about website stuff today. And for some people, that's very boring. But let me tell you, that's why it's like, that's why you build a website so that people can learn about you, go visit there. They can, there's so many things that they can do with that, right? They can buy products from you. They can get on a contact list for you to nurture them. They can enroll for an event. There's so many things that a website provides, and that's why we create them. But I found that a lot of females that I work with, including myself, because this is not an area that, Lori's been educating me like crazy on this, is it just sitting there like a building that you built with no sign on it? Does no one know you're there, right? That's kind of the visual I like to say. If you drive by a building, there's no sign. You're not just going to stop in and be like, hey, so what do you guys do here, right? So you want to have a sign. You want to be shouting from everywhere so people know who you are, right? So visualize it being on the windows. It's lit at night. There's sandwich boards. There's flags out there. That's kind of getting people to see what building you are. How do we do that with a website? I know Lori Osborne here has some advice for us on how to build a good website, but then how to get your website seen. So Lori, happy Monday morning to you.
Happy Monday to you too.
So give us some tips. Let's just dive in. You're the expert, and I know you work with a lot of clients on not only building efficient websites, right? So let's talk about what would be efficient for that, but then also having the right SEO, which so many people don't know what that is. Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's talk about it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of basics to keep in mind in building a website. And really, you want the website to look good, obviously. You want
Yeah.
a good design that's,
Nah.
critical. But like Colleen said, you want it to be found more than anything. For it to just look pretty is worthless. So there are some key things you want to do. Um, you'd mentioned an opt-in. I absolutely encourage every single business out there to have an opt-in on your website. It For multiple reasons. One, it builds your email list, and how are you going to continue to communicate with those people that come to your website if you don't capture something from them? You don't have the ability to know Joe Blow specifically visited your website if you don't capture their email when they get to your website. So there's that for the opt-in. The other thing is providing something valuable in that opt-in for the people coming to your website. Because one, that gets them to your website if you're marketing it properly. And two, it keeps them more engaged because, oh my gosh, look at this. This is interesting. And then if you build on that, you're going to keep them there even longer. And then you're building that funnel for follow-up. So you give them a download or a video or something that engages them that they'd be interested in. And then you capture their email in that process. And then you have that ongoing relationship that you should be doing with email marketing, follow-up, and that sort of thing. The other thing that I really recommend with websites, which is also part of SEO, is thinking about accessibility. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to become an expert in accessibility, which is allowing the disabled to view and listen to your website. But the requirements for accessibility are so complementary to SEO that it's really important to understand some of the basics. So things like one heading one per page. That's something that most people don't think about at all. But when you set your headings, you want it to be logical like you would in a book. So you would not have a heading one at every single paragraph in a book. Let's say you would have a heading one and then a heading two and then a heading three. Think about like even Word, like the way it's set up in Word, it's like 1, 2, 3. You want that same logic on your website because when when Google or any other search engine is crawling, they're looking for logic that makes sense. And even though, like, I know a lot of people that do their own website, and I'll admit it, I used to do it as well before I fully understood this. You think about, well, I just want the size. I just want that to be that size. So I'm going to pick heading 1. No, you want heading 1. And if you need to change the size of your heading 2 or the color of your heading 2 to make it what you want, that's fine. But you still want that logic in there. So things like that, in making sure that things can be read and make sense and are user accessible. So even, or user friendly, I guess the better word, accessibility ties into user friendliness as well. So when you're building your website or updating your website or doing anything in your website, think about, if someone doesn't know me and they don't know how I operate and they come to my website, is it logical what they need to do and how they need to do it? Is my call to action very, very clear? Are all the buttons clear, or do I have like a light blue on a turquoise blue button and I can't read it?
Right.
You want stark contrast. So think about, if someone is struggling to see and they're on my website, can they see what they need to see to do what they need to do? So just kind of thinking about user friendliness. User friendliness is the number one thing with SEO with Google anymore. And especially on mobile, because the majority of people are on mobile now. But user accessibility is number one. So everything under that.
So the highest percent of people are visiting your website from their mobile or their tablet. So remember that, and making sure it's mobile friendly. But I'm glad that you said about the headings, because I didn't know that either, right? So I think a good way to ensure that it is friendly is to test it out with a bunch of people, giving it to some friends to view and say, hey, if you go to my website, what do you think I do? What would you do on my website? What would what do you click on? Are you able to navigate around it easily? Don't give them anything else of information. Just ask them to go do it. And you'd be surprised how many of them will come back with feedback. And don't take that as negative feedback. Any constructive criticism that you get on your website is positive feedback of changes that you can make. But Lori's she's talking a little bit deeper with the headings of things that I don't understand, right? Because I have someone help me with my website. But when she's talking about Google and the functionality and what the crawlers are looking for, I know blog is another one. And a lot of websites don't have a blog. So talk to me about why blogs are so important on websites for all of us. It's keeping our content current and posting things regularly, right?
Yes. Google likes current, fresh data. They don't want to supply the same responses to every search that has been out there for months and months and months. They want fresh and new. So your blogs, if you're doing them often enough, you're getting that fresh and new, and you're also writing them with keywords. So you're making your website more keyword rich. So when you're writing your blog, be thinking about, what kinds of phrases and words would people be using to search for me, and build those in to your blogs. You'll notice on my blog page, there's a lot of blogs about SEO, because I want people to find me. I also want to help people with SEO, but I want people to find me based on that SEO.
Yeah, I think what Lori does the best that I see from working with her is empower you to really understand what SEO is, what it means, why it's important for your website and your brand, right? Because so many people aren't even on Google My Business. They don't even have an account set up. They're not getting reviews. They're not asking for reviews. I talked to someone the other day who teaches so much about business, yet my emails after an event always go to those that attended that say, if you liked today, please leave us a review. So almost every event that I do on a regular basis, weekly, I might get one review. Maybe it's one, maybe sometimes it's two, but they'll leave that on the company I use, So Tell Us. They'll leave it on Google reviews. They'll leave it on Facebook. All of these reviews really help your company be seen more often. That's just the way the algorithms work. So it's not as much hard work as you think it is.
Right.
Right?
No, it's really not. There's so many basics that and Google My Business is a great one.
Yeah.
There are a lot
First
of
nugget of
basics
the
that
day.
anybody can do
Go set up
that
an
will
account.
help.
If you don't have a
Yes.
Google My Business account, go set one up. I found that Meetup, right? The more that we do, and I'm going to ask you this, Lori, because I don't know this answer. The more that we have our names out, right, on the internet. So if I have a Facebook page, an Instagram, and then YouTube videos that I'm doing regularly, and then I have my LinkedIn account, and then I have a Meetup page, and then I'm, in an article in a magazine, and then I, post an article on LinkedIn, or all these things I'm doing.
Mhm.
When I go Google my name, or Google my business, all these things come up. My Meetup page comes up, right? So it's not just your website, it's all those other things that assist in getting your website seen, right? And the keywords that you use for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if you do any kind of search on, and it's always a good idea to do a search on your name and on yourself, because you might find something that you need to take care of as well. You never know what could show up out there. But yes, anything you do, including backlinks. So links from other people's sites to yours. So like if you're like this is a great example. If we have a link in here, it's going to backlink to my website. Anything I do with Colleen, with any events, with any, if you are a guest on podcast, any of that, you want to make sure that they're including your website link in their message and in their print, so that it's backlinking to your website. And all of that builds up and tells Google, I'm here and I'm awesome. Tell them about me when you do searches.
Even what Lori and I have today, right? Everyone knows I'm Colleen Biggs. My name is there. Everyone knows that I'm the founder of LeadUp for Women, right? I have the magazine behind me. A lot of women know that I run a LEAP program. That's one of my brands, right? I have it behind me. But what they don't know is what my website is. So everyone, many women around me know I have the LeadUp for Women website. I also have a ColleenBiggs.net website, which a lot of people don't even know exists. So that's why you have bizbolster.com on your name. So when people see that, they're going to, every time you make a comment in a chat, if you're networking, it's going to pop up. So this is why websites are so important. It's where you collect your contacts, right? Your downloads. It's where you have your lead generator. It's where you tell people about you. It's where they become more well known, like they get to understand you better. They get to know you better, like you. And then when they start attending some things that you have and you start inviting them through the nurturing campaigns, then they get to like you. And just like Lori does, I think it's crucial for women to get out there on a regular basis, not just go live, but I mean, that's good, right? Videos are great. Going live as much as you can, even if you want to just talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We do these for 15 minutes in the morning, and I, bring someone on every Monday. But you also want to be able to make sure that you're sharing your website everywhere. So if you're doing a live like this, pop your website below in the comment section, right? And drive people back to it. Invite people to events and do events every month that share with people what you do. Invite them for free to come and learn from you. Teach them something, right? Give, serve, teach them something, and nurturing that for a while. That person then gets to make the decision. I think I don't have the right SEO and I'm not being seen by the people and I could use more clients. So Lori's taught me a lot, but now I think I'm to the point where I need to hire her. And that's where a lot of Lori's clients come from. She teaches them so much in our Teaching Tuesdays and her workshops that she does. And then they figure out that I can apply some of this on my own, but now I'm not sure what to do, or that's beyond my scope of understanding. Now I need to hire Lori to help me out. Is that what you're finding, Lori?
It is. It is. And, I think it's important for me to give back and help people because, like I said, there is a lot with SEO that I would not expect the average person to do or be able to do. It can get very technical, but there are so many. And if you go out to my website, there's actually a download for 10 things that you can do that are very, very simple that, I want my clients to be able to stay on top because it's an ongoing thing as well. You don't do SEO once and it's done. You've got to continue to do the right thing. And I want to mention just one more thing on websites in general, too. It's really great for people to go there and get to know you, and you absolutely want that. But remember, too, that the website is about them, not you. So when you're doing your words and you're putting your message out there, be thinking about your potential client's pain and how you can solve it, because they're going to be, when they don't know you, they're going to be more attracted to that than to you. So if you show that you understand their pain and how you're going to fix it, you're going to keep their attention a lot longer.
Ooh, that's a great advice. Did you guys hear that? So go back to your website and look at it and read it. Are you talking to the consumer? Are you helping them solve the pain that they're in? Because that's why they're at your website, right? Because they want to know that you can assist them through something. So Lori, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for sharing and showing up with your nuggets of goodness for everyone in the community. And ladies, we hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Lori will put all of her information below in the comment section so that you all have that. And again, we will be back. I will be going live starting today on LinkedIn as well. So we're going to be going live on some LinkedIn shows. I'm really excited about that. And Lori, again, thanks for being with us. You guys, make sure you go to bizbolster.com. That's bizbolster.com, and go check out Lori. She has a lot of tips for you to be able to download on her website. And she can solve all your pain. Trust me. You want more clients? Contact Lori. All right, ladies, we'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.